Lesson 2-6, solving compound inequalities. So a compound inequality is basically two inequalities that are stuck together, right? And we're going to stick them together either with an and or an or statement, and that's just those letters, all right? They're usually, well, they should always be capitalized, all right? And those are indicating the two different types of connections those two inequalities are going to make. Okay, so if it is an and inequality, it's going to have an intersection, right? And the intersection is the area on the number line where the two inequalities overlap. So if I have my number line and I have one going from here and is larger than like -2, and one is here and is smaller than 5, we'll say the area where they overlap, so this area is all going to be the intersection, all right? That's going to be the solution for my and inequality, okay? When we have a union, that's going to be our connection for our or inequality, okay? So that one would be if we have a number line and we had a solution that was, say, from here lower, we can call that -1, and then from over here up, we can call that 2. The union would be combining these two solutions. Even though they don't overlap, we're still combining them, and we're saying that x could be less than -1 or it could be greater than 2. Right? Okay, concept 1, solving compound inequalities involving and. So this is what it's going to look like on a number line. And you might see it in one of two different ways. It could either be like this, where you have two separate inequalities and you have and in the middle. Or you might see it like this, where you have a number less than x, which is less than or equal to another number. All right, and that's basically putting a range on it. Okay. When we are solving these, they'll generally start by looking like something like this. Okay, and we can solve these in the same way we solve a normal equality or a normal inequality. Even though we've got two signs now, all right, we can do the same thing to all three areas. Okay, this is basically a 12 is less than 3x, and then a separate 3x is less than or equal to 33. Okay, and you can solve the two separately, right? Or you can do them all at once. Okay, and that's what we're going to work on for this one. So we're going to try and isolate the variable, same as always. Okay, I divide by 3, but I've got two signs now, so I need to divide both other sides by 3. Okay, 12 divided by 3 is 4. It's not a negative number, so I keep my signs the same. These cancel, so I have x. And then I have 33 minus 3, which is 11. Okay, and I could graph that, although my number line is not quite big enough. But if I wanted to, I could make that, and it would go, let's see, solid circle, because I have that, and then it would go from here, and it would go up to 11, and then it would be an open circle there at 11, and I would connect that with my line, and that's what it would look like on a number line. Okay, let's look at another one. So here's another one. It's also an AND inequality, so it's the same kind, but now we've got two terms. All right, it's kind of a multi-step inequality or a multi-step compound inequality. All right, but just like with a normal multi-step or two-step equation, you're going to check to see if they're connected or disconnected. Okay, these are separate. These two terms are separate. So I'm going to start by adding 2 into each section. And I would be left with negative x over 2. I haven't done anything with negative numbers yet, so my numbers stay the same. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. 0 plus 2 is 2. And now I'm going to multiply, because this is basically a negative 2, an x over negative 2. I can move my negative sign to any one of these terms. So I'm going to multiply it by negative 2. Multiply this by negative 2. Multiply this one by negative 2. These will cancel. That'll cancel. I have 2 times a negative 2. Negative 4. I have my x, and I have negative 2 times negative 1, or positive 3. And now, because I multiplied by a negative, I've got to switch my signs. Switch my signs like that. And now I have 3 is greater than x, which is greater than negative 4. And I can either switch that around. Generally, we look at compound inequalities like this, and we keep the smallest values on the left, or I can just graph it out how it is. So if I was going to turn it around, I would just move everything to the other side and flip my inequalities again. Okay, so once I've got that, I find my endpoints, negative 4. And because there's no equal sign, it's going to be an open circle, positive 3, open circle, and then I just connect them because x can be any value between those two numbers. And that's my compound inequality.